Point source pollution is defined by the Environmental Protection Agency as a single identifiable source of pollution from which pollutants are discharged, such as a pipe, ditch, ship, or factory smokestack. The EPA has set a national air quality standard through the Clean Air Act that targets 6 main types of pollutants that are found in the U.S. and around the world. These 6 pollutants are ozone, particulate matter, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, sulfur dioxide, and lead. Particulate matter is a homogeneous mixture of extremely small particles and liquid droplets. These particles can be made up of nitrates and sulfates, organic chemicals, metals, and even soil or dust. According to the EPA, particles that are smaller than 10 micrometers in diameter are of greater concern. These particles are so small that they can pass through the throat and nose and deposit themselves in the lungs. Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas that is emitted from processes that involve combustion. The EPA states that the main source of carbon monoxide pollution comes from cars and other means of transportation. The issue with carbon monoxide is that it severely reduces the body's ability to deliver oxygen to vital organs such as the heart and brain, and can eventually lead to suffocation if exposed over an extended period of time. Nitrogen dioxide is a highly reactive gas that belongs to the family of nitrogen oxides. NO2 is quickly formed by emission from cars and trucks, buses, power plants, and off-road equipment, and also contributes to the formation of ground-level ozone and fine particle pollution. Sulfur dioxide is a highly reactive gas that belongs to the family of sulfur oxides. According to the EPA, sulfur dioxide is emitted into the air through fossil fuel combustion at power plants as well as metal refineries. Current scientific evidence suggests that exposure to SO2 could lead to respiratory issues such as bronchoconstriction and increased asthma symptoms. Lead is a neurotoxic metal found naturally in the environment and as well as in manufactured products. The main source of lead pollution has historically been from leaded gasoline for automobiles and industrial sources.
Air pollution is a major environmental risk affecting everyone in developed and developing countries. It causes a wide variety of symptoms including coughing, throat irritation, chest tightness, as well as long-term aggravation of other diseases. People with pre-existing respiratory problems and heart conditions are most vulnerable to the effects of air pollution. A 2013 assessment by the World Health Organization concluded that outdoor air pollution is a carcinogen to humans, with a particulate matter component of air pollution most closely associated with increased lung cancer incidence. The lower the levels of air pollution, the better the cardiovascular and respiratory health of the population as a whole. Air pollution is degrading the quality of the atmosphere across the world. Cities have air that is often thick with exhaust fumes, factory smoke, or soot from coal-burning power plants. In many countries, there are no air quality regulations. China is responsible for 30 to 35% of global sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxide, and particulate matter. As the temperatures get colder, China is consuming more fossil fuels in order to stay warm during the winter season. This increases the amount of pollutants in the atmosphere. During winter, high atmospheric pressure masses prevent air pollutants from dispersing. This allows for the high concentration of pollutants to be blown by increasing seasonal winds to Taiwan and South Korea. Because the region is in its dry season, there will be no rain to blow particles away and lessen the amount of air pollutants.
Technological solutions have become widespread in the industrialized world, but they are still virtually non-existent in most of Eastern Europe, the Soviet Union, and the developing world. Incorporating the environmental costs of burning fossil fuels into energy planning could both encourage efficiency and the use of non-polluting renewable sources. Taxing emissions have also shown to be effective. Some policies in place to help reduce global air pollution include: in the U.S., the Clean Air Act is a comprehensive federal law that regulates air emissions from stationary and mobile sources. This allows the EPA to set a standard for ambient air quality for which major industries must follow in order to operate. The Clean Air Act has set air quality standards for the 6 common criteria pollutants. It requires that states must control emissions that have crossed over state lines and requires point sources to use the latest technology when dealing with their emissions. The European Union proposed the Clean Air Policy Package to further reduce emissions of air pollutants until 2030. The package proposes strengthening the implementation of existing mandates by introducing stricter national emission reduction commitments. The package includes nitrogen dioxide, volatile organic compounds, sulfur dioxide, ammonia, particulate matter that's 2.5, and methane as the main pollutants that will be addressed. In China, the EPA has collaborated to share expertise and experience in the monitoring and mitigation of air pollutants. They have developed a sulfur dioxide emissions cap and trading program in hopes that it will promote cleaner fuels and a reduction in vehicle emissions, and they continue to develop numerous policies and regulations that aim to reduce the concentration of hazardous pollutants. In conclusion, air quality and pollutants remain a major issue to humanity and the environment that surrounds us. Although point source pollutants come from a concentrated source, they pose certain risks that affect everyone, and not just those that are in the immediate vicinity. In order to reduce air pollution, humans must make conscious decisions as society progresses.